Hey guys, this is Terrence here from Radical Marketing. Today I'd like to show you what we do to craft awesome headlights that actually grab people's attention and make them want to read the rest of the ad. So let's get into three example headlines that I want to show you that were from one of my copywriters that I just want to show you some of the ways that we have improved the headline to make it more catchy and to make it more engaging. So let's hop into the first headline. So here's the old headline. The old headline that my copywriter came up with is here's how beginners can start profitable businesses through free expert mentorship without being paralyzed by fear. Now, this headline is not too bad, right? But the only thing I found when I was reading this headline is that there's probably a few too many things that this headline is trying to cover. So first of all, yeah, it kind of like the brain, it's kind of hard to compute so many things. But secondly, is also the fact that this part here, without being paralyzed by fear, I'm not sure whether people would actually identify that they are actually paralyzed by fear because they may not be aware or want to admit they are paralyzed by fear. And the other thing is free expert mentorship. Like, why expert mentorship? I don't know. Maybe just free mentorship would probably be more effective and communicate much better in this case, right? So here's the new headline that I came up with, and I feel it's going to be much better, right? So we communicate the big benefit right at the start of the headline, which is free business mentorship, right? Okay, so if you are an entrepreneur or want to grow a business or start a business, this first three words will capture your attention straight away. And then the next thing is we say for future entrepreneurs who want to overcome uncertainty and create a profitable business. So instead of saying beginners, I swapped it around to say for future entrepreneurs. Now, that is just a subtle difference that we are speaking to their future selves, and they probably will identify better with being an entrepreneur in the future rather than being a beginner, right? So because maybe some of them may have even started a business before, or in their mind they don't see themselves as beginners, right? So we want to speak to the higher self, which is future entrepreneurs here. And the other thing is, I'm saying here to overcome uncertainty rather than saying being paralyzed by fear, because they may not recognize they are actually being held back or procrastinating because of fear. So I just want to say it in a nicer way because they feel they are uncertain because they don't know the steps to take. So I'm just saying, hey, we're just going to help you overcome uncertainty and create that profitable business that you've always wanted, right? So this are just a few subtle differences that I feel is going to get people's attention more and communicate better and make them want to read the rest of the ad, right? So this is just headline one. So let's look at headline two. Headline two is the old one is seasoned entrepreneur reviews his top secrets to launch a successful business fast, even without an original idea. Look, I think this is not bad at all. The only thing is that for me, this sounds very common. This is a very, very, common way that all this business, business startup or biz op people would say things, which are words like, seasoned entrepreneur. Yeah, that's kind of a little less common, but still quite common. His top secrets is kind of like, yeah, pretty common as well. Launch successful business fast, even without an original idea. So it's very common to me. For me, it doesn't really grab my attention. So that is the only issue, right? I mean, otherwise the headline seems pretty okay. Like it's an okay headline, but it's not outstanding for me. So Thank you so much for watching our video. Just a quick interruption to remind you, if you are watching this on YouTube, to like and subscribe and check out all our other videos on the channel. And if you're checking out this video on our blog post, make sure you check out all the other blog posts on our website. So thank you so much, and back to the rest of the video. For me, this is what I rewrote it to become. It's like former hacker, right? Which is something unusual, which is really something that stands out in, especially in the BizOps space. It's like, what? A former hacker, right? That will grab people's attention. And then I just did a little wordplay here, which is reviews his top hacks, right? Hacker reviews his top hacks for launching successful businesses fast, right? That kind of like makes it very intriguing and sticks to the theme of being a hacker. And then I say, instead of saying without having an original idea, it's like by copying others, right? So that kind of sounds a bit sneaky, right? And just by sounding that a little bit sneaky makes people intrigued by, okay, how does this guy copy others, and this guy's a hacker? So it kind of goes along that gray theme of like, hey, is this kind of ethical or not kind of thing, right? So I feel this communicates better than my top secrets to launch a business kind of thing, which is the original headline, which, bear in mind, is not bad at all right? But we just want to bring it to the next level by creating this really, really intriguing thing that people will want to read more about, all right? So let's go into the final headline here quickly. So the headline 3 here is the old one. Here's how Malaysians can have a mental hand-holding to start a business without cracking their heads or breaking the bank. Now, the concept here is great. The only thing is there are a lot of big terms, a lot of phrases that require the brain to compute, which I think will lose a lot of readers. Like, first of all, we have mental hand-holding, right? Okay, I need to think about, okay, right, what is that? Okay, mental hand-holding without cracking the heads. Okay, what does cracking the head mean? Without breaking the bank, what is breaking the... So there are so many concepts my brain needs to try and compute to make me kind of understand what this whole thing is saying, which is fine if people have time to think about it. But in the today's attention deficit society, it's probably not the best thing. So I think it's good. The terms, the kind of the concepts are good. The concept is good, but it's too confusing for the brain, and people will just skim through and scroll across this. So this is what I wrote instead, right? Father of triplets, right? First of all, that grabs attention. Like, how many father of triplets do you know, right? Seriously, there's probably, I only know one, and it's this particular person, which is the speaker here. So first of all, that grabs attention, right? Because it's something unique, right? Reviews new business launch system that helps Malaysians generate a side income fast. Like, you can see this kind of communicates what we are saying in the above, not exactly, but it's so much clearer and so much simpler. And straight away, I know that, okay, this is the benefit, is that I'm going to get a side income fast from this, right? And the other thing to bear in mind as well, I position it as a new business launch system. Okay, so people's brains right now, people's brains are always geared. If you understand neuromarketing, is to find new things, right? Because new things interest us, and old things, we kind of seen it, done that before. That kind of interests us less. So by having that word "new," right? I know it's a little bit cliche, but it does work, right? So people will be like, okay, father of triplets, wow, that's really interesting, grabs attention. New business launch system, well, I want to find out a bit more about this because it actually helps me to generate an income fast. And because I live in Malaysia, that kind of like appeals to me, right? So yeah, those are the few things, the little distinction here that makes it clearer than the first headline, which Incidentally, I don't think it's bad at all, but it just requires too much brain power to compute, right? So I hope this exercise made sense to you. And if you like this a little short video on how we evaluate whether a headline is good. Remember, the headline's objective is not to sell, but to actually get people's attention and to get them to read more. If you like this kind of headline evaluations, the copy evaluations, that please do comment below, and so that we can make more of this for you in the future. And bear in mind, this is also for Facebook, right? So there are certain things that we have to write to comply, and not to exaggerate too much, not to make claims too hard that could contravene Facebook's policies. So bear in mind, that's why a lot of these headlines are also watered down a little bit, all right? So that, yeah, just keep that in mind as well. If it was for email, if it was for newspapers, or do we even read newspapers, or for magazines or anything else where there are less restrictions, I would probably write it in a slightly different manner. All right. So I hope this was really enlightening to you. And if you liked it, once again, please comment below.